Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we're going to be adding the final PnP Modern Search web parts to our solution. Those would be the filters web part and the verticals web part. I'm going to show you how to configure them and how they work. I'm also going to show you some tricks with the verticals web part that you may not know about, so let's get into it. So we've got a basic people directory that we're building out. Right now I've just got a search box using PnP Modern Search and then the search results from the same PnP Modern Search. If I search for a name, like Adele, then it will filter the list and just return her or whoever else also shares that name. What we'd like to add to build this out a little bit more is some filters. So I think a filter for the department would be good because if you're going to have a lot of people in the organization, maybe you want to bring people back that way. So let's add a filter in here. I'm going to edit the page. And the filter, I think, should be on the left side. So I'm going to edit this section. We'll add a column to the left and then move these over to give us some room over here on the left. So we will add PnP search filters. So we'll add this in here, and now we're going to have to configure this for what managed properties we want to filter by, or what managed properties we want to offer to the user to filter. In this case, it's going to be department. So we can click on configure or just hit the pencil icon. And what we'll need to do is first tell it what search results to get the data from, because we're going to be doing what's called refining. There's two different ways you could filter using this web part. You can add refiners, which means that it's going to look at the data being returned and use that data to populate the list of departments, for instance. That is dependent on the search results to kind of feed it with the possible values that a user can select. The other way you could filter is what's called a filter. And what that really means is you're going to have to tell it what values are going to be possible. It does add more maintenance because if you add a new department, someone would have to manually add that value. Refiners work, in my opinion, much better because they're maintenance free, really. So to add the filter, we've got it connected to the search results so it can start to fetch that data. And we're going to customize the filters, even though it's a refiner in this case. For display name, we'll add department. Now we need to tell it what managed property we want to add. I verified what managed property I need to use by going into the Search Admin Center and in the search schema, looking to see what was mapped to the people:"department" crawled property here. This is already mapped to a managed property called department, and I see that refine is enabled on that. So this is what we could use as our refiner. We need to make sure that that data is even being returned from this search result. So we need to edit this. We need to look at our selected properties and make sure we're actually returning that department field. And we are. Department is checked, so we are returning the value from this. So over on the search filters, we should just be able to hit this drop-down list and find department. There it is. And I'll type this back in. For the number of values to display, we're just going to skip this. We're going to display everything. For the template option, we're going to use checkboxes. That way, if somebody wants to do a search and filter by multiple departments, then they can do that. But the other options are, date range. So if you're searching for dates, you have a date range or a date interval, which might be 2 months ago, 6 months ago, that type of interval, or a combo box. So if you just wanted to allow one selection, just to filter by one department only, then you could use the combo box. Otherwise, if you want to allow multiple selections, checkbox is the better one. I'll pick expand by default, so it'll show all of the values possible without someone having to expand out an accordion slider, I guess is what it would be. we can show the count. So it will show the number of people in each of those departments that are in the search results. And you'll see what that looks like once we're done here. For now, I think that's good. We will click add and save. And then for the available layout, it's on the left-hand column. I think a vertical layout looks good for this. There is an option to have a slide out panel, which is kind of slick looking. But for this type of purpose, I don't think it would be appropriate. Feel free to try out the panel and see what you think of it though. It does have some uses. And that's really it. But now we do have to do one other thing. If you remember when we added the search box, we had to go into this third page here and connect it to filters. So we have to turn on filters and then connect it to the filters web part. And what that will do is allow the search results web part to get the value from search filters. So there's kind of two-way communication going on there. So both web parts do have to be aware of the other. So we will republish this, and we see all the different departments that are assigned to users. There could be other departments here, but unless they're assigned to a user and present in the current search results, then they will not show up here. So for instance, if we search for Adele again, you will see that all of the other values have gone away and now only retail is available because Adele is in the retail department and we searched for her. So she's the only search result. Therefore, the only department that the filters web part is now aware of is retail. If we clear out this, we will see all the departments again because of the diversity of all the users that are brought back into search results. So we have options here. You could select a department, it will automatically filter. Notice we did not have to update the search query. Similar to how we did with the search box, we don't have to update the query in the search results web part. For what value? We don't have to tell it that we're searching department, any of that. All of that hookup is just automatic with these as a result of us kind of connecting each web part to each other. So that is very nice, easy functionality to add to this. And one thing to note about the filters was even though we did pick a combo box or checkbox, even though we did pick a checkbox for this particular field, it is still only allowing a single value. If we put the check in multi-value, then it will let us select multiple and also give us a Boolean option for how we want to combine those. So in this case, someone's only going to be a member of one department. So it doesn't make much sense to do an and, but let's see what happens if we do an or with multiple values. So let's republish this. And you'll see up here, we do have an option. It's showing that the multiple selection is in or mode. So if I pick engineering and finance, and I could even pick manufacturing. So we could pick, multiple, obviously, and hit apply. It'll filter the list by those three. Then I can take one off, take another off, just show engineering. So this is really neat. I think I kind of like this approach with a people directory. So I'm going to leave this as is just to give a little bit more power to the users, because I'm not sure if they would want to see everyone in, finance and engineering or something like that. So just to give them a little bit more of an option. And I think it's very clear to them how they would operate this, how they would interact with this. So we'll leave it a little bit more complex than that original design, just for added value. Now that our refiner is working, let's add one more thing, the final component to the PnP Modern Search web parts, which is the verticals web part. The verticals are going to work in a similar way to filters or refiners, except it's mostly to filter different types of data. Maybe if you had web search results, people results, things like that, different distinct types of data, you could filter that way. But I like to use it in a similar way to the refiners, but for larger types of filters. In this type of use case, I like to use it for something like office location, where you may have offices in different countries, maybe different states, and you want a quick way to automatically pull that page up and already have certain filters applied. So let's go through that and you'll see what I mean. So in edit mode, we are going to add the PnP search verticals. And in the properties, we'll see an option to configure our verticals. So what this is going to do is put tabs across the top of the page. And each of these tabs in this case is going to represent an office location. So when someone clicks on the tab, it'll filter based on office location. Similar to how it will with the refiners, but there's a little extra functionality that I like for this. To start, we'll add in Berlin as the first office, and we're going to set the tab value equal to what the data actually looks like when it's added to a user. In this case, it is just the word Berlin, but if you had a different value here, maybe an office location number or something like that, then you could put that there and still display Berlin to users. And we'll add a catch-all. We'll just have a default tab here for everything. Make that the first one that shows up. So we'll add these two first so you can see what it does. So we've got this. Now we need to tell the search results web part that we are using verticals. So I will turn on the verticals and connect it to our verticals web part. There is an option here to display the data only when the particular vertical is selected, which is a really neat thing to do because in case you've got multiple search result web parts on the page, but one is searching people, and so it has a certain template applied. Another is searching a different type of data, and you want to keep everything nice and separated. You could just show the one search result web part that applies to that vertical, which is a nice way of doing that. In this case, we just have the one type of data we're searching, which is people results, so we don't need to implement that. But what we do need to do is update our query template, because this will not filter it automatically like it does with the filters web part. So what we need to do is add an additional part here so that we could search on the office location. And what will do that is this right here. So our managed property that we're searching, and I found that here. I looked in the search schema for the crawled property SPS-location that is already there and mapped to base office location in my tenant. It probably is the same in your tenant as well, but you want to double check that so that you're making sure you use the correct managed property. In this case, base office location. So we are adding to our search query base office location, and then we have this token. Now remember, the other token we are using is input query text, and that is the value in the search box here. So verticals.value is going to give us the value that we selected up here. You could also get the name of the tab in here, but it doesn't really help us that much. I'd rather just get the value, even though it is the same thing for the Berlin tab. For the alt tab, we want to actually use an asterisk, so it's any value. So we're going to use verticals.value to get the value behind the scenes of the tabs, and that'll automatically get put into our search query to filter on base office location. So let's apply this and publish the page and see how this looks. So we see all of our users when we're on the All tab. And if I go to the Berlin tab, we just see the 3 users that are in Berlin. So that is working well. Let me add the rest of these values in here, and I'll speed this up. Okay, all of our values are in here, and let's test the page again. Yeah, great. Everything is looking fantastic on this now. And now let me show you why the verticals have a really neat place in this type of a solution. So you'll notice here on the properties panel, you could use a query string parameter to select a vertical tab by default. What this means is that if I copy this URL, we come over to this new tab, and we say v equals and then a value. Let's say London. And if we go to this URL You notice how it automatically selects the London tab? So what you could do with this is if each office location has their own hub in SharePoint, so they've got their own set of mega menu items, that type of thing, or even if they don't, and that London office wants a quick way to go to the people directory and search for their own people, you could use that URL parameter trick to use one people directory for all of the offices, and it will always be catered to their location first. They can still go back to the all tab, but if they want to go straight to the Paris users, there's an easy way to do that with just a simple URL parameter. If you're excited about trying this out, click that like button or let me know down in the comments below that this is something that you want to try out in your environment. These people directories are very, very common to see. If you don't have one, you could certainly use one. In the next video, what we're going to start doing is customizing this template. All we've done really so far is add an email address on here, but it still doesn't look all that great. So we're going to start customizing the output of these search results and make this look even better. So don't miss that. And if you're like me and you're doing more and more with SharePoint Search and you're trying to understand more of what's going on, look at this video right here that starts to walk you through the whole process of how SharePoint Search works and how you could start to configure it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this.